Hello, hello, hello. I'm glad that you're here. Welcome to Cheryl's Corner in 2022. Hello, and thank you for joining me. Welcome to Cheryl's Corner. We're a Bible-believing community where we learn from our mistakes. If you are new, thank you for being here with me. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you. I'm so glad to have you both. Here at Cheryl's Corner, we blend pop culture videos and topics with biblical teachings. If you love the Bible and you also love a little sparkle of pop culture, go ahead, hit the subscribe button below. We would love for you to join our community. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell. Ring. Then you'll know when I have new videos and information to pass on to you. Again, welcome, welcome, welcome. I would just like to take a personal moment to thank all my supporters. If you are a subscriber, I thank you. If you are not a subscriber and you're contemplating and you're looking for just some information to keep you going for the week, I'm kindly asking you to subscribe to Cheryl's Corner. I'm a person of belief because God has been so good to me and I have to pass that on. So talk to your family, your friends, your loved ones, your neighbors, and please subscribe. I'm giving an outpouring. Please subscribe to my channel because you're welcome here. You're absolutely welcome here. Today, I had an opportunity over the holidays to watch the Disney movie Mulan. Remember that? It's an old one, but it's a good one. It's a fictional lady who was interested in fighting for her country and giving honor to her father. So take a moment. We're going to have some fun today. And I'm asking that you take a moment, get a pencil and paper, because we're going to go through the A, B, C's. Sometimes it's good to go back to our basics. We're going to go to the ABCs and we're going to just pull apart Mulan and how I have incorporated 22 things Mulan taught me on being a better Christian for 2022. And I would like to share that with you. When I give my 22 reasons, plus I'm going to give you a little bonus, so stay tuned to the end because we have some bonuses coming up. I told you it was the ABCs of Mulan. So get your pencil and paper. Come on with me. So glad to have you in my corner today. And we're just going to take an opportunity to see how perhaps these 22 things can make you a better Christian in 2022. Are we all trying to be better? Trying to live good lives? Trying to pass on peace and kindness to others? I know I am. And I welcome and encourage you to too. Our first letter of the alphabet is the letter A. I chose Genesis 18:4. Is there any wonder which the Lord is not able? My first word would be able. And that's having the opportunity to do something. Have you been given an opportunity to do something? Are you an able mind, body, and spirit? Our next one would be B, body. That's the physical whole of a living or dead being. Your body. It's who you are and what you are. And in Mulan, believe it or not, I termed her as being a body double. She was a girl, born biologically a girl. But as you remember in the movie Mulan, she imposed herself as a man to get into the army, to get to fight for her country. Watch the movie. See what you notice. Curious for the letter C. Eager to know something or learn something. Because of her ability, her able body, her body double, she was really curious and eager to be the best that she could be. She wanted to learn something. So she took her father's place to go into this journey for her country. D is determined. Do you have a determination? You know, making a firm decision and you're not going to change for that. She made a determination that she was going to steal her father's horse and she was going to fight for him. As you can recall in the movie, her dad was ill. He had an injury from the previous war that he had victoriously been in. And watching him suffer, and she was an only child, so there were no men to take her place, but an order and a declaration had been given to the country. We need a male from each household. And she took it upon herself, and she was determined. She had no doubt. So when you make a firm determination, you have to remove all doubt. Next letter is E. I chose energetic. That's high energy, vitality. She was very young. She was 16 years old and very energetic. And she knew her physical stamina was much more greater than her father's. F, she was faithful to her family and she was faithful to the future because she saw beyond where she was to where she needed to get to. How faithful are you? Have God given you a mission? Have you asked the Lord for anything of importance or significance? How's your health? How's your wealth? How's your stamina? Be faithful unto God, and he will be faithful unto you. That's good news. Not only was she faithful, I use the term G as she was genius, exceptional intellectually, or had great creative powers to be one gender and evolve into something else for the betterment of her family and her future. That was genius. H. For H, I trusted God without a doubt. So that was Hannah. I used the term Hannah. I want to do a little comparison and contrast with Hannah. Hannah was a lady in the Bible, and she prayed faithfully to God. So did Mulan pray faithfully to God, her ancestors, to give her the best that she could be. And so was Hannah. Hannah was the mother of Samuel. Remember Samuel, King Samuel? Go to the book and do a little studying about that. So for H, I compared her to her ancestor of Hannah because we all started at the beginning. I is intensity. That's extreme degree of strength or force. You remember in the movie when Mulan climbed the pole that Li Shang had put at the highest point of the pole to increase power and stamina, and she wanted not only to have such intensity to do that, she also wanted to impress. That's another letter with I. So she became very impressive, and she was the only one that succeeded that. So we can put our minds to things, and what we put in our minds, we can be impressive, we can use intensity, and God will bring us to that place. This is maybe a little bit unusual to follow, but for my letter J, I chose January. If you can remember, January is the first month in the Gregorian calendar. It represents the beginning. In the beginning, God created. We all have to start where we are. We all have a beginning. Don't worry about someone else's beginning or start. To be the best you can be, start where you are. That will be your beginning. That is your January. For the letter K, kind. Let's just be more kind to each other. You're on display for God when you exemplify kindness. Kind is being good, it's being benevolent in nature, and it's just a smile. That's a word of kindness. We don't know what we're going through, or your neighbors, your co-workers, your friends, your church members. Let's just be kind to each other. For the letter L, labor. Mulan's labor wasn't in vain. And if you put God first, your labor will not be in vain. Just keep on going. For the letter M, I chose the word more. To whom much is given, much more is required. Also, when I'm thinking of more, God gave her Mushu. It's always good to have a partner or a person or an animate object to remind us of our faithfulness and that we're not in this process alone. Can you imagine this 16-year-old girl leaving home, defying what custom had dictated because it was only males who were permitted into this army, and to make a conscious decision to go against the grain because you feel like there's more to you than what meets the eye. That's a very, very challenging and difficult role to play, is to get into your more, even though voices are telling you you can't. Don't do it. Stop. Hold up. Let me give you permission. Let me tell you what to do. To go beyond all of that and get to your more, you've gotten to a good place. For the letter N, I chose now. And now is an adverb. Remember those adverbs? Those modify the adjectives in sentences. At the present time or moment, that's now. Now is now. It's not yesterday. It's not tomorrow. It's the present time now. Now is also a conjunction which connects words. So a sentence for an adverb would be, Mulan knew the time was now. She didn't wait. As her parents slept, she, through the night, followed her heart and her desires, and she was determined. So she did it now. The conjunction part of now, that's what connects words or phrases. So when the story evolves, remember toward the end when Shane spent time with Mulan, now that the Huns were conquered. So that's how that would come into play. So for my O, I use optimistic, hopeful and confident about the future. How optimistic are you? As we evolve from 2021, we can now say bye-bye. Bye-bye to 2021. We are optimistic of our future. Whatever you did or didn't do or could have did or should have done, you have to now say bye-bye to 2021. Let it go. Let's get into P. It's the present. You're present. You're here this present day. Also with P, you are prayerful. Mulan was prayerful to her ancestors to give comfort and protection. That's another P, as she journeyed into unfamiliar territory. So we've said bye-bye to 2021, and for 2022, we're presently here and we'll be prayerful. Not only was she present, prayerful, and protected by the ancestors, she was qualified. What made her qualified? She believed that she could. What are you anticipating on doing for 2022? What did you not do that you want to do? And I'm here to tell you today, with God, all things are possible. He has already qualified you for the right decision that you need to make. For the letter R, I've chose resistant. And that means immune from something. She kept trying to fight and do the best that she could. She was resistant. Even though she stood, you remember when she was injured and the doctor came, and that's when her identity as a girl was discovered, but she was resistant and she continued. And I want to take a moment to tell you, resistance can lead to reward. Because as the story evolves and you see it toward the end, she was rewarded for her resistance. So even though things seem to come up, you're in the valley. Valleys are difficult to overcome, but how resistant are you? Some of your valleys could be losing your job, but how resistant are you? Having disobedient children, how resistant are you? Believing that you can succeed. And that's a big word and a hard road to travel. But your resistance will lead you to reward. I'm a living witness that it will. So we're going to keep on. Not only was she resistant, for the S, I chose the word stumble. She made some stumbles. She made some missteps. A stumble is a trip, a slight deviation. Have you ever tried to walk out on the ice or snow and maybe your feet slip and slide? You stumble. You don't go completely down, but you are tossing about and you're off balance. With just being a mere girl trying to pretend to be a boy, those were stumbling blocks in her way. But not only did she stumble, she was resistant, as I previously stated, but God provided her stamina. So even though you stumble, you slip, you become a little bit off balance, stamina will be restored in your life. And that's just a prolonged, sustained endurance. How many of you know that God will straighten up that stumble and sustain you? I can raise my hand to that. The letter T, I chose team. And that's to come together as a group to achieve a common goal. Even though she was body doubled, even though she knew she was a female fighting a male war, she was part of the team. When they discovered her true gender identity, they walked away. But it doesn't erase the good that she had done. So even though you are not seen to be liked or represented, continue to be a team player. It may be a little difficult at times to keep your balance, to keep your mouth, to watch your step, to guard your feet. But be a team player and come together as a group. And sometimes it's a little difficult, but the race is not given to the swift or the strong, but it's given to the one who endureth to the end. Come on, get on that team and let's fight for a team effort. For the letter U, I used undercover. You know, she was undercover. As I so stated, Mulan was a girl, but she had to fight for her father because she knew he would not have survived the rigorous performance of fighting again. He was already injured. So sometimes you may have to be in disguise. You may have to cover up. You may not show your true identity, but hold on to God's unchanging hand. Not only was she undercover, I gave you a bonus word. She was underestimated as well. When we underestimate something, that is deemed as less important. But even though you're at the bottom, God can raise you to the top. When you're at the top, he can take you to the bottom. Remember, he's Alpha and Omega. He's the beginning and the end. So even though you're undercover, don't underestimate who you were designed to be. For V, I chose victory. Go to the book of Deuteronomy 20 and 4. For the Lord our God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to give you victory. Yay, you are victorious. You are victorious. My bonus words for you, as you have written down your ABCs to get you to a better 2022, I chose W, wall. You're going to hit some walls. You're going to hit some obstacles, but continue to go around the walls, go under the walls, or go over the walls, but never stop your mission and what God has put in you to be, because you don't know who's watching and who wants to be a part of that. For the X, I chose xenophobia. That's an unreasonable fear of strangers. When God has your back, you don't have to fear, because he said, fear not. And I'm believing that for you today, friends. Fear not. For the letter W, I chose yoke. As two believers in a relationship, his yoke is easy, his burdens are light. I'll tell you that. Take your burdens to the Lord and leave them there. Mulan was in a relationship for herself, for her family, and for the future of China. So that is a yoke that she bore, and she bore it with great compassion. She bore it with understanding. She bore it with patience. And as you saw, God protected her and created an opportunity. Her valleys, he gave her a mountain, and it was the mountain that she overcame that proved to be success. Watch the movie. It's really some lessons in life that you can learn from those. And for the letter Z, I chose zealousness, enthusiasm. So when you have gone through the A, B, C's of Mulan, I'm hoping that you will find the 22 things that you can be taught on being a better Christian. And as you journey on, I told you victory. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies to give you victory. I have victory. I have victory. I'm putting on my crown. Don't give up, saints. Don't give up. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of this. Stay with me on this journey. We have interesting 2022 lessons to both learn for myself as well as pass them on to you. It is so important for me to ask you. The Bible says, ask and it shall be given. I need you to subscribe to this channel. I want to bring good things to you. And the only way I can be a better person is through you. Hit the notification bell. Stay with me. And let's make our journey to victory for 2022 together. Thank you for joining Cheryl's Corner again. See you next week.